Hello YouTube, Robert Alvarez, the Psychic Witch, also with Sekhmet, the no longer kitten, because she's 3 years old at this point. So yeah, isn't she so pretty? Look at so pretty. But don't scratch my shirt, otherwise you won't look pretty to me anymore. You know what I mean. Anyway, so it is my pleasure to present to you the official May 2026 entry for Llewellyn's 2026 Tarot Calendar. This is the cover. I'm doing my best Vanna White impression, which is not that good. This is the back. And let me show you May. And yes, I am aware of what date it is, but Mr. Booked and Blessed was hopping. So yes. So we have a spread, so I will be casting the cards for the collective. The focus is on the Two of Swords from the Egyptian Art Nouveau Tarot. You know, it's interesting because there was a time in England, especially after the year 1900, that there was this fascination with Egyptian anything. And there was this merging of Egyptian iconography and Egyptian statuary and Art Nouveau. And I can't tell you how many times over the years I would see a catalog that had Egyptian figures dressed in Art Nouveau style clothing. So this is what Mr. Charles Harrington had to say, or wrote about the Two of Swords. The blind oracle sees the hidden messages beneath the world's surface. When a reading doesn't immediately resonate, don't panic. And this is for any divination system, not just tarot. The Two of Swords asks us to pause and meditate on the images until the answer rises to the surface. And of course in the video you'll see it, but this is the Two of Swords from the Art Nouveau, from the Egyptian Art Nouveau Tarot. You know, I must admit, hi, you are so cute, but you keep scratching my beautiful shirt. This is one of my Flame Con shirts, and you know I love them, but you know, she's so demanding, just like the goddess after whom she's named. But I still love her. So we have the Crossroads Spread, we have Selecting the Path, and we have the Waxing Moon symbol. So I'm actually going to kind of read them in reverse. But one thing that I will say about the Two of Swords, in my experience, Two of Swords is a card that I've often seen represent triumph over great obstacles and adversity through partnership. Now, usually I interpret it as partnership meaning the client and another individual, not necessarily a romantic or a marriage partnership. It could be a familial partnership. It could be a business partnership. But sometimes it could easily represent the partnership of the client and the spiritual realm, or the divine, or the spirits, as I would say. But I usually interpret that card as the Ace of Swords, not the Two of Swords. Usually in the case of the Two of Swords, it's the client and another individual, somebody in a physical form, even an animal companion, like a feline familiar. But it could easily represent the client and a guardian, a god, a goddess, some type of spirit guide, etc. So one of the symbols is the waxing moon. Whenever you see a crescent moon in the sky on any tarot card, note whether it is waxing or waning. In this case, it is a waxing moon. And of course, I'm going to have Drake, more commonly known as my awesome audiovisual person, for my YouTube videos, do a close-up of the waxing moon. So if you see this, it is a waxing moon. If you see it like this, it is a waning moon. And in spite of being a moon magic witch, I tend to forget as well. But anyway, so a waxing moon like this one indicates a period of coming out of darkness and into the light of consciousness. Plus, in basic moon magic, whenever one wants to do a ritual or a spell for increase, one uses a waxing moon. If you want to do a spell to decrease or eliminate, you would use a waning moon. For example, if you want to increase the amount of money you receive, a waxing moon would be the ideal time for that ritual spell. If you want to eliminate your debt or dissolve your debt or decrease your debt, a waning moon would be the ideal lunar timing. And then selecting the path. Choosing a path is easy if one road looks more pleasant. But what do we do when they seem unevenly matched? This usually means the querent is quite capable and can succeed in either direction. Reconsider position 1, and this pertains to the Crossroads Spread. What would the person depicted by this card prefer? To enhance the spread and reduce bias, first write each choice on a slip of paper, shuffle them, and place them face down on either side of the table. Interpret the cards thoroughly and then turn over the papers to see which path you chose. There is a reason why, whenever I do readings, and I don't do this often enough in my private readings, but at public venues, I will always have a notepad on the table next to me. Usually on my side of the table, like usually would be on my left side or my right side, well, my right side, because I'm right-handed. So that is something to keep in mind if I were to use this spread in a public venue. But now I'm going to have to ask this cute little kitty, okay, I love you and you're making a mess. Oh my goddess. Oh my god, look at this mess she made. You thing, you. Oh. Living with cats. All right. This is the Crossroads Spread. I'm going to read it while I shuffle the deck. And I am using the Soul Cats Tarot, which is a Llewellyn deck. It was written by Lisa Robertson, who also wrote the book for several other tarot decks published by Llewellyn, and illustrated by Adam Ohlers. So I'm actually going to shuffle the deck while I read about this Crossroads Spread. And Drake, is everything okay? Drake, is everything okay? Okay, just want to make sure. So the Crossroads Spread. Many questions boil down to a choice between two approaches. Will I be happier with X or Y? This updated twist on a Crossroads Spread assigns each choice to a path and gives a glimpse of what each offers. I will take a look at it, okay? I will let you know if it shows up in the spread. So, cards 1, 2, 3 represent path A, the querent's present situation, followed by this choice's immediate and distant potential. Then cards 1, 4, and 5 represent path B, the querent's present situation, followed by this choice's immediate and distant potential. Card number 6, alternative direction, optional. A or B is a binary choice, but our world is messier and much more non-binary than that. This additional card can point to an overlooked possibility. So technically, card number 6 is option C. Okay? I will let you know if those cards show up in the reading. But now I'm going to finish shuffling. Okay, 3 piles. By the way, you can use either hand, left or right. Roger Pratt taught me left, so I usually use my left. Okay, and there's a whisker here. I gotta start collecting these. And there's another whisker here. No, that's a hair. Okay. So, card 1, card 2, card 3, card 4, card 5, card 6. Now, for those of you in YouTube land, and I will reveal the final message card at the end. So for those of you in YouTube land, you might want to think of an option A, an option B, or an option C. It does not matter what area of life. It could be professional, it could be personal, it could be residential, it could be international, it could be whatever, whomever, however. So let's start with path A. So we have cards 1, 2, and 3. Card 1 is the world. Card 2 is the Six of Swords. Card 3 is the High Priestess. I'm just going to say, if you haven't already gotten this, ultimately your intuition is going to be your ultimate guide. So at the end of the day, regardless of what I say on behalf of the collective through this Crossroads Spread, follow your intuition. The World card is an absolute indication that the choice you make is ultimately going to be the best choice for you, regardless of what area of your life to which this pertains. And the World card tells me that even if you make the wrong choice, there is a blessing in disguise in store for you. Six of Swords is an indication that regardless of any fears or anxieties or stresses, you are going to make the best choice for you at the time of this casting of the cards. I happen to love the Six of Swords. To me, it has always represented the elimination of confusion and anxiety being replaced by clarity, harmony, and illumination. Mental illumination as well as spiritual illumination. The High Priestess card, which is also depicted on the cover of the guidebook of the Soul Cats Tarot, and I believe it is also on the box, I no longer have the box, but whatever, is an indication that your intuition is your ultimate guide. And again, this is for path A. Then we have, that's called a musical interlude. Okay, we have path B, cards 1, 4, and 5. And again, the client's present situation followed by this choice's immediate and distant potential. So we have the world. Again, wherever you are going to make the right choice for you at the time of this casting, at the time that you make the decision official. But we also have, in addition to the world, the Lover's card. Very timely, and I'll tell you why in a moment. And then we have the Ten of Cups. So the Lover's card corresponds astrologically with the sun sign Gemini. The sun entered Gemini on Sunday, May 24th of this year, 2026. So right now, since the sun is still in Gemini, there is no possible way that you are going to make the wrong choice, number one. And number two, this also does confirm that exploring different options is an ideal thing for you to do. Pardon me. I made myself a London fog. A cup of Earl Grey tea with coffee. It is so good. It's such a simple recipe, but it's so delicious. I steep the tea first, then I pour in the coffee. Just FYI. And the Ten of Cups, the Ten of Cups. The Ten of Cups confirms that you will be delightfully, deliciously, joyously happy with the ultimate choice you make. And then we have card number 6, which is known as an alternative direction, or as I call it, option C. The Temperance card. So you can continue going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and driving yourself up the wall with should I or shouldn't I? Shouldn't I or should I? Should I? Like, you're going to drive yourself up the wall. Be okay with whatever choice you make. And according to this casting, trust that the choice you ultimately make is the best one for you, number one. And number two, it is also the one that's going to bring you blessings in disguise. Now, a thought occurred to me, so I'm going to run with it. Please make sure that you are choosing between something and something else, or someone and someone else. If you are choosing between whether to live or whether not to live, that is not what the spread is for. If you are choosing between wanting to hurt somebody else and wanting to hurt yourself, that is not what this spread is for. This is about you choosing between 2 or even 3 or 4 or even 17 different options. Whether it's, for example, choosing to accept this position of employment or that one, choosing to date this person or that one, choosing to fuck this person or that one, choosing to complain about this neighbor or that neighbor or the other neighbor, choosing to write to your mayor or your governor. These are the kinds of choices that are being represented in this casting of the cards. And it is a shame that we live in a world where I feel the need to say that. And by the way, that came from the spirits, because I had no plans to say that during this video. And the final message card, again for the collective, is the Two of Swords. You cannot make this shit up. You just can't. Because this is the card that is featured in May. So look, you have options. You have choices. It may not seem like you have any choices. It may not feel like you have options. But you do. And if I'm wrong, leave it in the comments. That being said, I'm also going to reread Selecting the Path. Choosing a path is easy if one road looks more pleasant. But what do we do when they seem evenly matched? This usually means the querent is quite capable and can succeed in either direction. Reconsider position 1 and ask, what would the person depicted by this card prefer? You would prefer to have it all. Guess what? So would I. But I also want to say something else, but I'm going to say it after I finish rereading this. To enhance the spread and reduce bias, first write each choice on a slip of paper, shuffle them, and place them face down on either side of the table. Interpret the cards thoroughly and then turn over the papers to see which path you chose. To keep this video as short as possible, I'm not going to do that, though I am going to say this. A lot of times when I conduct a reading, especially for somebody who is having their very first reading with me, or they've never had a reading before, or they're not as with it metaphysically, magically, or mystically, sometimes they will ask a question and think it's forever. I'm here to tell you that forever is a long-ass time. So I'm not going to say forever. I'm going to say this is for the here and now. And that does not mean that you do not have the right to revisit an option. Let's say, for the sake of argument, you in YouTube land are watching this video and you've decided that you're going to apply for position A, or position of employment A, thank you, Segment, for confirming that, as opposed to position of employment B. Now let's say that things go really well for you at position A, position of employment A, but then all of a sudden something unforeseen happens and the company goes bankrupt and you're left without a job. This is a good time to reconsider position of employment B. If it's available, great, apply for it. If it's unavailable, apply for it anyway, or wait. Or even you can say to somebody, could you please let me know if it becomes available again? By the way, as somebody who used to work in recruiting, employers and recruiters get so swamped that, as good intentioned as it is for them to say, oh, yeah, we'll let you know, they probably won't remember, even if they make a note in your file. So I would say, give it to yourself to reconfirm with them or follow up with them. Let's say, for the sake of argument, position of employment B is unavailable when you reapply for it or when you apply for it for the first time. So check back in 6 months, check back in a year. Because anything can change at any time. So I would say if it is a position of employment, using this example, that really does interest you, that really excites you, that is very lucrative for you, that makes you feel very happy, then you know what you do. You go, you know what? I am going to follow up with them in 3 months. 3 months, or 6 months, or a year, whatever it, or 13 months, whatever it is. Whatever it is. But whatever it is, you can absolutely make sure to follow up. And you don't have to. It's just an option for you. It is always a pleasure to consult the oracle and cast the cards in my videos. And there you have it, everybody in YouTube land. The May 2026 entry for Llewellyn's 2026 Tarot Calendar. I would like to thank Llewellyn Publications for continuing to publish this calendar. I would like to thank Charles Harrington for taking over the writing of the insights, spreads, and tips from the Barbara Moore. And of course, I want to thank all of you in YouTube land for spreading the word about this calendar online and off. And of course, I don't think many of you have made any new videos about these calendars. I haven't looked because I haven't been on YouTube. I really don't spend as much time on YouTube lately. I tend to do YouTube in spurts, like as a viewer. It's like, you know, there'll be days where all of a sudden it's like, I'm going to watch YouTube for a few hours. And there could be weeks that go by that I don't watch anything on YouTube. And I'm okay with that. I really am. I mean, the fact of the matter is that there are some videos that I need to revisit. There are some subscriptions I need to make sure that I'm still subscribed to, because sometimes YouTube will unsubscribe people. So if you're not seeing my videos, that could be the reason. You never know. And of course, I want to thank Lisa Robertson for writing the book for this tarot deck, the Soul Cats Tarot, as well as Adam Ohlers for illustrating it. And as a crazy cat man, or as I prefer to call myself, a child-free cat gentleman with 4 cats, one of whom you saw on the table at the beginning of this video, I highly recommend adding the Soul Cats Tarot to your selection, your compendium of feline-themed decks. Okay. Thank you to all of you in YouTube land for all the likes, comments, shares, and subscriptions to my YouTube channel. And of course, an extra big and beautiful and bountiful thank you to those of you who have already scheduled your sessions. I wish all of you a beautiful night and a wonderful week and weekend. And as always, stay in tune with your intuition, stay safe, stay well, stay hydrated, and stay tuned for the next video.